Crossroads Sevens band. We have done some non-metallic work on leg. We have done some non-metallic work on the pipes. Some wood grain that did not exist. We made it exist. We brought it into existence. So today, I think what we're going to do is we're going to work on the trim here along this portion of the model. So that's what we're going to be working on today, I think. And if we get done with it, which we could, it's not a whole lot here, we'll start working on this leg then. So first things first, let's get some mixes down. Okay, so we are using Rhinox hide English uniform and Japanese uniform and a little ice yellow. These will be our mixtures. This here give you an idea of the ratios. So 2 to 1, 1 to 1, 1, and then 1 to 1 there, and 1 to 1 there. And next week, we're going to be working on some experimental creatures, which should be fun. Those test subjects and Big Brain Bren. That's the word I'm looking for. I'll probably paint him first, I think. Then we'll do either the plucked chicken or the orangutan, I think. All right, just about got our mix set here. Get his piece back in there. So about that. All right. There we go. So how is everybody doing today? We ready for Snowmageddon 2, or is it still on? I haven't really watched the news lately. Not since they said we might be getting another one this weekend. I don't think it was as bad down in the metro area. Like y'all got maybe a dusting, which I know is still enough to kind of shut the Atlanta area down most of the time. But up here we got like 6 inches the first morning, and then we had a bit of a melt the next morning, so it shrank right down to about 2 inches, and then we had another 6 inches come right back in on top of it. So we had about 8 inches total. Hey Doug, how are you doing? Which part was super helpful? The showing the mixtures. Actually had some snow forecast here, but it looks like it won't hit. Nice. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if we're going to get it or not. We never know with Georgia. It might say it's going to hit and then it doesn't, or it may say it's not and then it does. And it could be 70 degrees when we've got 6 inches of snow predicted. You never know. Georgia's kind of a wild card with weather. I think since we're not going to work on the legs, we're going to set those over to the side, get them out of the way, and I'm going to put this guy on a plinth. That way we don't have as much to work with. Hold on to. There we go. Hold her nice and stable there for us. I think this is one of the models I've spent the most time on collectively. Because I mean, he's not even, I think, 3/4 done at this point. Not even halfway done at this point. And I've got today it'd be 9 hours. I mean, granted, I don't count these as solid hours because I tend to be looking up and checking chat and stuff like that. But still, we've got some time invested in this dude. He's ornate. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, there really is a lot of detail on this dude. Figure I only want to paint this guy once. The other guys are kind of painted kind of like to more tabletop standard, but I figure I'll give them repaints later. But this guy, I figure I only want to paint him once in my lifetime, so we're going to paint him a little bit better. Propped there. Okay. And we'll get over here and start working on this flamey bit. I guess that's supposed to be flame. I'm not sure. I think it is. Here we go. All right. So we'll pull in our next color now. Now, most of the time, what I say is kind of work with one color at a time, or one section at a time, so that you don't get confused which color you use last. Because if I go from this to the next, I might forget what I've been working with. So I tend to pull one color at a time, or one section at a time. So we'll finish up this little bit of trim, and then we'll work on the next little bit of trim. Okay. Pull up our next color. Now those little rivets, they do make it hard to get a smooth blend, but at the same time, they can kind of disguise one that isn't quite super smooth enough, which is kind of a blessing on this piece. We'll have to get the buttery smooth blends because, well, those rivets help disguise it some. Just notice that wine cork is some tasty stuff. Yeah, I mainly use that for cooking. I never really tasted it by itself. I'm not a huge wine connoisseur or anything like that, so yeah, definitely not a wine connoisseur. Yeah, definitely not a connoisseur. Fave is a Franzia Chillable Red. Ooh, nice. I tell you, now this is not a like a drinking. It's not a wine per se. It's like a dessert beverage. Um, but there's one I like. It's God, what is it called? It's Framboy Lambic. It's a raspberry uh, liqueur sparkling wine or something like that. That I can just sit down and just destroy a whole bottle. It's so good. Yeah. Glad you knew what I was talking about. It took me a second to remember the words. The words were hard. Yes. Yes. Sorry about that. Exaggeration, of course, on my part. Lambics are a kind of beer. Okay. Okay. It was about food or drinking. Yeah. I hear you. I hear that. Okay. Starting to build some reflection up here. to come back in and tie this little blend up here on these vertical side pieces there. All right, that's all right. And I may even bring this blend back just a wee bit. I think we're a little too far forward on it. Never be afraid to correct if you think it's just not looking quite right there, you know? There we go. Now, I think a lot of the brilliance on the front piece will actually come when we get the rivets outlined and then get them painted up, because they're just so many of them that they're going to provide a lot of the brightness on this piece, I think. Ran into an airbrush apocalypse last night in your bottle Santa Res. Oh, you ran into a batch of the infamous Stynylrez frozen stuff. I unfortunately cannot give you a recommendation because I use the same stuff, but I bought mine long before the freezes occurred, and I've still been using it. I got this back in 2014, 32 ounces of each, and they're still going. And I've painted literally thousands of miniatures. So, yeah, it's good stuff, but that unfortunate freezing issue, I thought they'd fix that. I thought they'd change the formulation so it didn't do that anymore. If you contact Badger, they will get you taken care of. They'll get you another bottle, or refund that bottle or whatever. So, but I have used Vallejo. It's not as good, I don't think, but it will get you by in a pinch while you're waiting for a non-frozen bottle of Stynylrez. If that helps. There was also a batch that wasn't running to the freezing stuff. There's another batch that was messed up in a different way. Oh wow. I hadn't, like I said, because I've been using the same bottle for so long, I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to what's been going on with it. I don't know. I guess I probably run into the same problem. If I were to run out, I'd probably be in the same boat as everybody else. Take the chance with the stuff that freezes or has other problems. But what I have works really well, and so I preach the gospel of Stynylrez. This bottle worked out decently for a while. It ended up to using your airbrush. Nice. Wow. So what I've been doing is I'm still using the same color, but I've just kind of been building it up a little bit there on the front. Even after I ran it through paint filter, it really had a short open life. Was setting up in your airbrush. Wow, that's hard to believe, but at the same time, I guess the way everything else has been going lately, um, appliances and TVs and stuff that are made to self-destruct seems like it's kind of normal, I guess. Causing 100% clog where couldn't get air. Wow, that's nuts, man. I am sorry you had to go through that. Like I said, I've never had a bad experience with the Sonal but I got mine long before they started having issues with it. Apparently, hmm, you have good bottles of gray and white Stone res. You use a lot less of those because it's zenithal. Yeah, yeah. I have switched to using my gray a lot more because I'm about mm, a third of a bottle left in my black. So I have switched to using gray and white more often, or just going straight gray. Um, I don't do the zenithal that often. If I had a bunch of inks, I probably would use it a little more frequently, but I don't. So I work up from darkness to lightness, and I don't use the primer to do that. So it turned into teaching people how to completely tear apart, repair, or brush on the stream. Nice, nice. Always good to have tutorials. Okay, starting to get where I like this now. Okay, now we're going to pull in a little bit of the brighter stuff here. Might be a little too bright, but it's probably fine. All right. We'll blend that back in a little, just a wee bit here. That is very, very bright. I missed a little bit there, didn't I? I did. On this side here. So that will be our brightest point here on this, other than like edging. Okay. Now we'll basically do the same across all these little bits here. We'll bring them up as well. I can go sparklier. No glitter. This is a glitter-free show. This is Wheel of Waldo. Speaking of which, I actually need to finish up that Raving Madman so we can do a little giveaway on that. I will touch up the glitter unless the winner wants the glitter. Actually, you know what? I think before I get too crazy on these sides here, I think this pipe's late in there. Let me check real quick. Come on now, go in there. No, not quite. It still shows, so we will have to work on that a little bit. God, seeing that together looks pretty good. I like that. The people demand glitter. I only see one person demanding glitter. That's hardly what I call the people. Not we the person. Glitter happens. Hey, Lord, Zephyrus? How are you doing? Does it now? Does glitter really happen? Well, he was just saying the people. He didn't say he demanded it too. No, not on this model. We'll put it on the Deacon one if you want it. Not this guy. Not after all this non-metallic work I've done. No, thank you. All right. Trying to get that trim knocked out. I guess at some point what we'll have to do is get a model and we'll just do all glitter. Like all glitter paints. The whole model. And then maybe we'll have the glitter thing sorted for a while. So does anybody have a preference for which model that would be? And where am I going to get a whole lot of colored glitter? Once the glitter bottle is open, it can never be closed. It gets glitter. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I don't use it, is because it's earned the name craft herpes for a reason. Something Ajax can't wash off. Well, I opened a iridescent medium. There is a difference. That is controllable. I need to get back to trying to do that face rig thing. So many projects, so little time. Because I would totally have the Watto face rig if I had it available to use. Trying to decide if I want to do the top right here, or if I'm going to do the top right here and bring that to darkness. I think that would be some good contrast. Doesn't really work the way light works, I don't think, but I kind of like the idea of splitting it up a little bit. Don't ask me why it's so much more fun to do it that way instead of typing, Bob. I just live here. I don't understand the finer points of psychology. Nice. I mean, typing exclamation point Waldo is definitely easier than typing blah, 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 but not by a whole lot, but it is a little bit easier. Okay. Shortcuts for such things are important. Apparently, at some point, I set up a shortcut phone. I have it type BHH. BHH. I don't even know why I said BH. Anyways, that's kind of cool. I do believe there's a little bit of trim down here as well. We'll probably hit that in a second. Also, just not right this moment. I'm gonna get this kind of taken care of. So I have a question now for the fine viewers here. Does me doing the non-metallic metal work make any of you guys want to do non-metallic metal? Or have you been attempting non-metallic metal? And how do you feel you're progressing on it? Clearly, I am. Talking about Doug, yeah, Doug actually would make a pretty damn good supervillain, I think. Because he's got just enough comedy in him that he could kind of be the comedic support, but also the most dangerous criminal that you have to worry about too. He's got that vibe that he could do either way, like just depending how the mood hit him that day. I think your wife's onto something. Her and Lama Bo, they pegged you, read you correctly. And yes, she's still married. Wow. What does that say? We can read a whole lot into that one too. She doesn't speak with a strangely sexy deep voice, does she? Like Dr. Girlfriend. And she is Dr. Oh my god. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay. Sorry to keep turning and turning and turning. I'm just trying to see where I want to go next with it. Go. Okay. So I think this is basically cut in at this point. So we'll come in and start working on those little swoops there and these swoops next. One thing I need to do is I need to look up like DJ mixing boards and see what all they got up here because this was I was expecting it to be like a record player, like a old timey phonogram kind of deal, and it's like a modern day DJ equipment mixing board. So you need to look up and see do they have any sort of colored knobs or anything like that. Most of the time, you always see them in darkness or strobing light, so it's kind of hard to see what they got going on. Dapper Dow, how are you doing? Welcome in. I have seen that name before. Welcome back. At least I'm pretty sure we've seen that name before. I've seen it. I'm fairly certain I've seen it. Yep, that definitely sounds like a top hat and bow tie. Bow ties are cool. Dapperest of dowels, yes. All right. Let's get the. I'm gonna get this little area corrected real quick because I kind of splodged a little paint here on the dark brown. Here we go. Ooh, we got some up on top too. Damn. We shall fix that. And then we'll come back in and blend that in a wee bit here so it's not so bright right there. All right. So let's see here. Looks like this. I guess I did get that curve, didn't I? Make sure we catch it all there. Because it does kind of roll over. Yeah, definitely needs a monocle. Of course, you are, one lab accident away from being a supervillain, Doug. Maybe you need the monocle. Got to save some affectations for yourself. More goggles type than monocle. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure we had you were saving some stuff for yourself. And magical laser eyes. See, if I were a villain, that's probably what I would have is laser vision. At least according to my mom, the stares I gave her when I was a teenager. She said if looks could kill, could stare holes through a wall, she said. The R in one of your motes has a monocle. Nice. Very cool. Can't really see it, but I will take a look at it later. All right. Getting some progress down here. Trying to get those cut in. That tasted horrible. Paint water bad. Well, personification or objectification, whatever you want to call it, of alphabet letters, not always easy. I've been trying to think of some for mine as well, and it's not the easiest thing to do. Oh, I am so sorry, Dapper. I did not see that comment. Yeah, Envy. That is who I'm working on. I have painted up one of the legs already. Um, that was the first stream. We did that and some of the trim work. And then last stream we worked on the pipes and painting in the wood grain that wasn't there. Ooh. I don't know if we can get a zoom there or focus, but anyways, that is what we worked on last stream. And this stream we're working on the trim. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. This is a very complex model. Beautiful, but it's there's a lot going on with it. Which I think is just awesome. It's definitely one of those that you could literally put however much time you want it into it. And the more time you put into it, the better the end product would look. This will unfortunately be our last stream with it though, because I just don't think. I think interest seems to be like 3 streams max per model. At least that's what I've seen. And if you aren't done by that time, it's time to move on to something new because people get want to see new stuff. Just the way things work on the Twitch stream, Twitchverse. So that's why I want to kind of do a little bit of most of the major areas. So I did one of the legs, and then did some of the pipes and the wood, and then started to do the trim. That way, we'd have a little bit of everything, covered, built up, so that if anybody wanted to emulate it, the look, they'd have a guide to how I do it. Completed the entire backlog before 2021 ended, and now I'm searching for new projects. Geez, Manini. I think you need more Malifaux. Seriously. I mean, no one ever finishes their backlog. It just doesn't happen. Unless you don't have enough to start with. So, sounds to me like you need more Malifaux, like Doug says. I don't know why that just doesn't want to paint there. It's just not being cool with me. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, we got it. I had a few votes for Malifaux so far. Seems in favor. Yeah, yeah. I mean, during my Weird Waldo stream or Waldo's Wheel of Weird or whatever we want to call that stream, the fun stream that I did in December. One of the things I had to do was show off my pile of shame, and I've got 3 30-gallon totes full of Malifaux boxes, so I've got enough to last for a bit. Like even if we had another shut-in, I'd be okay for a bit. As long as my paint's held out, of course, and glues and stuff like that. Hey, Stig, how are you doing, fellow weirdo? yeah. I don't buy those big Kickstarters. Although, if Weird did a big Kickstarter, I'd probably be all over that. I promised myself I wasn't going to do any more Kickstarters, but yeah, if they had one, I'd definitely have to break that promise. Judging by the number of top hats in Malifaux, it would be. I agree. I agree, Doug. That would be appropriate. Now, I am not a light scientist, so I don't know if this works with the way the lighting hits it or not, but I like the way it's working, so we're going to stick with it. Through the top-hatted Malifaux models. Yeah, there you go. Well, I think in just in Red Chapel one, you're going to have quite a few models to paint, right? Because the oh god, there's something Dapper Doxies, Dead Doxies. No, I can't remember. But anyways, the Dapper Dan guys, they all have top hats, I think, and then of course you've got Seamus with his, and the Copycat with what, 7? So there's quite a Dead Dandies. That's the word I'm thinking of. Thank you. I just right on my head. But yeah, quite a few top hats in that keyword alone. I'd say they'd keep you busy for a bit. Oh yeah, that's true. The Doxies do have some. Yeah. See? A lot of top hats just in that one keyword. There you go. That's right. One does have a bowler. Sorry. Still, A lot of hats to work with. Fun times. Opens new tab. Be right back. White Rabbit Company. They sell hats. Yeah. Seems like we have somebody hooked. All it took was some hat discussion. That's the way we do it, guys. Bet needs a hat. Nah, I don't think that one needs a hat. She needs some conditioner for her hair. Hats for everyone. Yeah, yeah. Oops, wrong color. Wrong color. Hold on. Okay, and do we want to do this little doodad up here a little bit as well? So we got a little thin there, didn't we? Let's wait for that to dry before we go tearing it up. Okay, so back over here a little bit. Work on this a little bit more. The dead dandies are quite dapper. Yeah, they are. See? Knew you needed some more Malaphoto paint, right? Okay, just about got that front trim back the way I want it. And then we're going to start working on that on the edging. Let's see here. Bring out your dead box. That is absolutely brilliant. Is that the one with the grave diggers? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the gravedigger, the male gravedigger is a fun little puzzle. All those little bits and bobs of people going together. What cracked me up was the one zombie butt mooning everybody. I made sure I gave that one a little extra attention. So it was good and prominent. Yeah, definitely get mooned by one of them. That's true. Okay, so I think that's got all that trim up the way I want it. I'm going to start coming in here and popping in some of these highlights here, these edges. Just like this. Whoopsie. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Let's fix that real quick. Didn't realize we were quite not getting that top edge there. Obvious now. Not so obvious then. Get that finger eraser in there. Never be afraid of your finger eraser. Oh, bit of flashing really messed me up. I should have cleaned it just a wee bit better, but I didn't. So we have to deal with it now. But it definitely puts a kink in things. It was hard to get between all those rivets. So I just kind of left it and figured, yeah, it'd be no big deal. Yeah, it's being a big deal. Okay, now I think we got that back where I wanted it. Got to run for now. All right, Dapper Dow, have a great day. Thank you for hanging out for a bit. Okay, let's get back here and try this again. There we go. That's what we wanted. And we're not going to go all the way across because remember, this is we're going to have to darken it up a little bit as we go. Okay, there we go. We'll probably drop a little bit of white up here at the corner for that. Yeah, let's get down here and get this lower one real quick. Oh, we got a little crazy there. I clean that up. That, my friends, was not a happy accident. That was just an accident. But we can fix it okay. Not a big deal. Here we go. All good. All good, good, good. All right, so now we're going to come in with a little bit less intense color here. Connect these two. Maybe a little bit brighter. That's not intense enough. Let's go back to this one here. This should do it. Okay, get that connected there. Gotta get that cut in a little bit right there. Here we go. And I'm going to come in with a little bit of the this lighter brown and cut this corner here, this vertical. And then come back in with a little bit of our Japanese uniform and cut the lower portion of it because we got to start to lighten up here, right? And just a wee bit of the other mixture here. That. There we go on that one. All right. Got a little bit to cut right here. We'll come back down here and catch it at this bright point as well. I realize we have not done that little flame on the seat yet, or the behind the seat, but we will get to that. I'm just kind of saving it for later. Back in a bit, have to glove up and process some prints. Ooh, nice. Haven't done manual developing in a long time. Oh, you mean 3D prints? Never mind. I was thinking photography prints for some reason. Never mind. Okay. We're going to come back in with this yellow. Itch this area a little bit. Okay. So now we can either do the roots or we can work on the flame up here. If anybody has any preferences, now would be the time to speak. If not, I'll go ahead and start on the seat. Okay, then we'll go to the seat. Actually, you know what? Let me get these little bits of bright white reflection on here real quick. Then we'll do that. As I fling my brush to the floor. So I mix a little bit of ice yellow with some white. Give me a much brighter point of intensity, which we'll put right here at the corner, the congregation of these two corners. Like that. I put a little right there. A little right here. Oops, we messed that one up. That's okay. We can fix it. So a couple little corrections there. Not a big deal. Here we go. That's all that was needed. Just a little blip there to get that taken care of. And a little bit back here. Okay. And then we'll go on to work on that spot right there. We can always come back to the rivets later. I mean, they're going to be pretty easy. I'll put like a little brown wash around each of them and then basically hit them with either the English uniform, Japanese uniform, or Japanese uniform and ice yellow, just depending on where they're at for brightness. And that's pretty much all they'll get. They're not going to be super complex. So if we have time, I'll show them. If not, I want to go ahead and finish up the flame on the seat. Okay, then we'll be doing the inside edge as well on that. Which color did I use? Was it this one? I think it was this one. Basically start from that same point on the other side. But on the inside edge. Okay. And then we'll do a little bit of that same color here on this little swoosh out here. Just a little bit to catch it, right? Okay. Uh-oh. I hear the sneezy cat. Captain Sneezy Pants awakens. I really need some new brushes. These guys are just dragged out. They're worthless. And we're going to bring some of that brightness closer to the curve here. Blend it back in with the previous color. And yeah, there we go. And we'll do a little bit of that slightly brighter color right down here at the tips, these outside edges here. I want to thin this down because it's really dark. But when I gotta come in here and then that bottom shadow in there. And we'll probably have to hit that one more time, but I think that'll be okay for right now. And then we're going to come back in here, going up to our Japanese uniform now at this point. A little bit of that there. That little bit right in here. Shape that up, of course. Blend it down. Okay, we'll see how that looks here in just a second. If it doesn't smooth out enough, we can always add some more later. Right now, we're just kind of glazing that in a little bit. Okay. 1 second here. And I think we need to brighten it up a bit more. What do you guys think? I think so too. Then we need to get a little bit of that in here. I think I'm going to get just a wee bit of water on that color because it is very intense. And we're just going to put in some right in here. And that got a little too thick, so therefore it's really super intense. So we're going to come back in and kind of blend it in a little bit as well. Now all we'll do is line this out, edge it a little bit, do some highlights. So same color we used up top, come right down the backbone. This. And then do the same on the other side. See? Looks like now, don't it? Kind of, sort of, maybe. So spot highlights in there. Finger eraser. A little bit right here. Finger eraser again. That one got out of hand. That's all right. We can fix that. Told you these brushes are Garbo. There we go. And then we'll pull up a little bit of the brighter color, bright color up here. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I put just a wee bit down here. And these little spots down here in the back as well. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So that's got all the gold non-metallic metal on this piece cut in. Now we'll, and edged and all. Now we'll do the little rivets because we have time. And welcome back, Doug. You missed the magic. We got our little devil horns done. So now we're going to make a little bit of a wash out of, let's go with, not that color. Let's go with this color here. But welcome back, man. Good to see you. It was funny when you said you were going to get some gloves and process some prints. The first thing that went through my mind was old school photography, like doing processing prints. I was like, wow, I hadn't even thought about doing that in years. And then I realized, oh, you're talking about 3D prints. Never mind. Different toxic chemicals, correct. Indeed. I kind of miss doing the dark room. At the same time, I really don't, because I was always so anxious, like literally can't breathe anxious in there that, something was going to screw up and I was going to blow out all the negatives. And I'd be in a near panic attack anytime I got in the dark room. Not because it was dark, but because I was afraid of screwing up my prints, The least little thing went wrong and it was over with. They were gone. Hey, McBluff, how are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, now most of the other ones are in really dark areas, so we're going to hit them with either Rhinox Hide, for those that are almost in the dark but not quite, like that one. And we'll still probably come back and hit that one with black, I think. Yeah. So I watched a movie not last night, night before last, 2 nights before last. Um, it's been out for a while. Um, called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And I've never been a big Ben Stiller fan, but I absolutely loved that movie. And if you've not seen it, you really should. Fantastic movie. Definitely made me start doing some life questioning. Yeah, isn't it, Doug? Definitely not really something you can do, pandemic age, but maybe if the pandemic ever settles down, it would be fantastic. I've always let my fear of flying hold me back. I have never gotten a passport stamp. Um, the few times I crossed the border, in Canada, passports weren't required. Now they are, of course, but not before. Um, so something that's always kind of bugged me. I let that fear rule me, and it keeps me from doing some things like conventions, as well as just all the wondrous sights that you can see abroad. So maybe one of these years. The last time I flew was in '95 to Dallas, Texas, and it was like, nope, never again. Making progress on a new animatic. Ooh, very cool. I'm doing pretty good, McBluff. Thank you. Appreciate it. There's nothing wrong with White Rabbit Company. But I admit I was excited by Discord talking about the possibility of a hat column. Ooh, that would be very cool. Okay, so we got all our little rivets. Ribbit. We got all our rivets outlined here. So now time to come in and start cutting those little babies in, I think. And we're just going to do a couple touch-ups real quick. Here we go. It is McBluff, yeah. But I think it's not just the escapism. It's more like, doing something important, not living life, I think that was it. All right. Let's go ahead and get these cut in. Probably going to do Japanese uniform for these darker ones here. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now, I may come back potentially and put another highlight on the rivets, but I think once they're all in, it'll be fine the way they are. We'll get some down here. did get a little bit on that, the trim itself, so I'll fix that here in a little bit. Damn, I lost where I hit it. I lost where I hit it. I think that's it. There we go. I think that got it. Okay. Now we're going to come in with the yellow, ice yellow, and ice yellow and English uniform for the other ones that are in brighter locations. And it may even go just pure ice yellow. We'll see, but for sure this color in the brighter sections. Thank you. Appreciate it. This has been a heck of a model to paint. It really has. So much going on with it. Okay, there we go. A speed painter. That's funny. So we got gold trim done pretty well over here. I need to come back and hit that one again. I forgot about the side piece. Whoops. Let's get that here. Hell, we didn't even put wash on those, did we? I got it on the other spot, not this one. Hold on. 1 second, folks. We shall get that one. I actually think I like the double tone, so we're going to do that on all those rivets, I think. The brighter up here on the top of these. Stig, I mean, if he would paint race cars and nice. Hey, Bythron, how are you doing? Gold, bronze, brass, NMM just gets better. Well, thank you, man. I do appreciate it. I was kind of happy how this one turned out up here. I was a little worried about that, but I think the little devil horns worked out good. And I think this trim looks better now that the rivets are going in. It was a little kind of blah before that. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit of ice yellow. Come tip top. That one. That one and all of these up here. Okay, yeah. I think that works out pretty good. What do you guys think? Yeah, okay. So we got that done. I think what I'll do is start blocking in this leg here. We have already got this one done. Let's go ahead and start blocking this this front left leg in. Let's just see. We'll put this bit on here. I haven't got the horns done on this side, but still, just getting a feel for it, how it looks. I'm liking this piece. Like I said, I'm glad I just decided, we're going to do it up proper because I don't ever want to do another one of these. Like I said, I painted the other ones, all the other Crossroads 7s as kind of tabletop standard, maybe my tabletop standard. And I figured I could always come back in later and redo them to a higher standard, right? But this guy, I looked at him and I was like, no, we're just going to go ahead and do him pretty high end because I don't ever want to touch this dude again, ever. ever. So that's what we're doing. All right. So I think what we're going to do, this will be silver here, like this other one. Basically, we'll mock these colors. This piece will be black or blue black, like this is, and we may do gold on this piece. I don't know if we can do gold or if we can do black and maybe make these pieces like flame. They're not really super well defined, but we could potentially make these like a flame paint job over a black base coat. Not sure. The other thing I'm kind of wondering is, so I got this side looks decent here on the horns, on the pipes. But how do we do the backside? Do we make it so that it looks good from both sides, from this side and from this side? So which means both of these would have to be done on both sides equally? Or do we make it like it looks good from this side and paint these horns here and leave these relatively untouched, kind of like these? I mean, it defies logic because this leg's pretty well done up too. So I guess we'll go in and do both sides, but we only did this one last stream. So, all right. So back to legs. Looks like we're keeping our bright spot kind of in this area here. So let's go ahead and get some of that going. Thank you, Bythron. So I'll add fire but not glitter. That is correct. That is 100% correct. Oh dear gosh. Really? Primer spammers. Those were that does sound like something a Rezer would say. That's good. I like that. Mama, I thought you said you had no discernible sense of humor. That was very humorous. Your paintings. Hey, Lord Korak, how are you doing? I don't. I'm not laughing. It's not funny. Well, it's made me laugh. Okay. So you got some humor there, even if it's just not something you recognize. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just kind of blocking in so I know where my bright spot is. Okay. I don't want to get too crazy there and wipe out what I just did. All these unnecessary rivets. Really? Really? Why? I didn't realize there was actually like a little edge here on the front. Okay. That's good enough for now. Now we can pull this off and just work on the leg. Oops. You're on break. Very cool. Good to see you, Korat. Even if it is just a little break. I tell you, this blue tack always sticks when you don't want it to stick. But when you do want it to stick, oh hell no. No, that's not its job. In more useful places, yeah. And in higher numbers and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Then we got our leg where we want it. I think it's time to break out my new dark gray. That is right color. Yep, that's the right one. And where's my London Gray? There's my London Gray. For a second, I was like, yeah, you do. I sent you Reva, but it was Wolf Concepts. I sent Reva, not you. Sorry. Okay. Got that kind of blocked in there a little bit. Don't have any, just some Outcast. Well, that's cool. I started working on my Outcast again. Started getting Parker worked up while I was waiting on my printer to come in to do some stuff. So I got some of my bandits done. Well, I got all the bandits done. The only one that's left is Mitchell and Parker himself. I just picked up this brush to work with, guys. That'd have been a good one, right? Yeah, Outcast is good. Solid faction. So we're just kind of working this in a little bit here. Starting to work on blends, but not quite there yet. Just kind of getting it started, right? And then a little bit more of this. Oops. A little bit more of the. Hang on. Not that one. This one. It's a little bit of that, more of that neutral gray. We'll come back in with some of that neutral gray or dark gray and London gray mix. Once I get my 2 projects done, we'll try and see what I had to finish for Malifaux stuff. Gal has. Yeah. Yeah. Too much water. Here we go. A little bit, but not a lot, right? We don't want to make an ocean up here for us to try and work with. Oh, remember that little knob there, that doodad? We will be painting in gold, so we're not worried about it right now or about drawing over it. Okay. I honestly am surprised I got done with all that trim and still have time to work on the leg. I was kind of expecting the trim was going to be it today, but looks like we came out kind of ahead for once. Okay. We'll come back in and work on that little dark gray area just a wee bit. Okay. And bring it around a bit here on the back side. This is dark gray by itself coming in. And then we'll get a little bit of, where is it? Black gray. There we go. There's just a smidge difference between those two. Not a lot, but it is enough that it saves me from mixing a little bit of black with the dark gray, which is nice. And we'll get a little bit of black while we're at it. Oh, I'm sorry, I was totally off screen, guys. Sorry about that. So we're getting a little bit of black. Then we'll go to our black gray. We want those two to blend a little bit, right? That's why we're doing it while it's wet. Wet blending is your friend, if you don't already know that. We'll bring in a little bit of the dark gray now. More water. That's still going. Well, that's still good and wet. And then we got a little bit of our dark gray and London gray mix right there. So now we got that blend. And it's basically the same process right here. A little too much water there. We want some water, but not, we don't want a flood. Okay. And now let's come in with a little bit of our brighter stuff right here. Just like we were doing earlier. We were blocking it in. Okay. I'll bring that little lighter stuff back in, reinforce it just a wee bit here. Okay, and a little bit more right here. And we're going to start this whole process over again. In reverse, we'll be going back to the dark side over here. And now we're going to dark gray here. Put this in a little bit if we can while they're wet. Finger eraser action there. And then we'll go to our black gray. And finally back to our black. Probably could stand to bring that up a little bit more on the black here. Here we go. So it kind of looks blah right now, but once we start doing the recess shading and the highlights, I think that will come on out where we want it. Kind of like the gold on the trim started out kind of bleh, and then once we did the edging and the rivets and stuff, it really started popping. And I'll bring in just a little bit of that pure gray there. It's not really a different color. It's just going to reinforce that just a wee bit. some of these others pulled in here. Go ahead and line that a little bit. I think that will help bring that one out. A little bit more. Here we go. That's what I wanted. We'll do the same thing here, run these little rivets. Get maybe just a little bit more concentration of black here. I may have been a little too much, but oh well. We'll make it work. There we go. We'll do another little seam right here. I think that's supposed to be a seam, not a mark line, or not a mold line. Regardless, we'll make it a seam. All right, so that looks a little better the way it is. Ooh, too much. There we go. Just bring in some black in up here for the rivets, and a little bit around that gold, or what will be gold later. Okay, so I think it's starting to look okay there. Once we get the edging on, I think it will be just fine. Now we're going to work on these little bits down here. Okay, get that little center section painted in there. And I'm probably going to come in with a little bit darker color on the bottom of this rim, because we don't want it all bright and happy in here, now do we? There's going to be some dark color in there. blend there. A happy little blend for a happy little stompy robot organ, pipe organ thing. And I think I'm going to pull just a wee bit of white in here. Let's go ahead and, since it's such a small area, go ahead and highlight that little spot there. Okay. Come in. Whoa. Too much water there. Want a little bit of concentration on that black because we're going to pull some in right down here and right up here. Set those apart. And just going to bring this across a little bit here. That. And over to here. Now before my white fully dries, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of the edging on this let's bit over here. There we go. Now this isn't pure white here, but this is pretty close. I'm going to cut it in just a little bit of a line here as well. Catch up here at the top. If I can, my brush will catch it. No, No, it says I'm not doing it. Okay, brush. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm the captain now. Do what I say. There you go. Silly brush. Well, I figured I had to do something to get something out of the crowd, right? Okay, we're going to have to change tactics because remember, this is not an edge, it's an implied edge. So we'll have to actually draw this. All right, and then we'll come back in here. I'm going to recut that line just a wee bit with some black. It got a little out of hand there at the beginning because I thought that was an edge I could work with, and of course it was not. So here we go. And I think I'll bring just a tiny bit of white back to the tops of those rivets. Rivets. Oh, I heard Captain Sneezy Pants. Watch out, world. Captain Sneezy Pants is here. Now we're going to go back to that light gray again. Okay, here we go. I think that will look okay. See how it goes here in just a second when we start finishing up these edge of my highlights. Catch a little bit up here at the top. Oop, that got a little crazy. We'll fix that here in just a second. I mean, we're going to be painting this, I don't know, shin portion. I guess it's a shin. Again, so it doesn't really matter. And we still need to do this actuator as well. It's not super highest priority at the moment. And let's go ahead and do this little bit of gold too. Probably need to come in and strengthen the black wash I put around this, because it's not very strong where I want it strong. Actually, let's go to okay. A little bit more here on this color along the top. Doug, if you're still running, have you seen a show called Station 11? It's on HBO Max. I watched that over the last couple of days. It was pretty good. I wanted to read the comic book though. That was, so featured so prominently in the movie. Wonder if they have a version of it online. Oh, I just asked, have you seen the movie or the series Station 11? It's on HBO Max. It's not bad if you've got the service to watch it. It's not a bad one to watch. It's post APOC super flu, kind of relevant, obviously. You do have HBO? Cool. Definitely give it a watch then. Captain Sneezy Pants is in the room, folks. He didn't announce his impending arrival. Usually he does a series of chain sneezes to let us know he's on his way. He did it earlier, but then he didn't show. Now he's here. and he's eating very noisily. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Captain Sneezy Pants is my cat. It's kind of his gig as sneezing while I'm streaming. Okay, so we got that there. Got the silver bits for the most part done. May come back here and catch this side a wee bit here. It's going to be in the darkness, so we don't have to go too crazy with it. But a little bit of a detail won't hurt, huh? Okay. We are getting real close to our shutdown time. So I just want to go ahead and thank you all for being here. Appreciate you hanging out. I hope you liked watching the non-metallic metal workup. And eventually my little Willow link will pop up. And if you would like, subscribe, and all that stuff to my social medias, that would be great. And if you're not already following here, that would also be great. Follows don't cost a thing, folks. They are 100% FREE free. So yay fun, yay paint. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Glad you hung out with me till the end. Okay, so we got the silver. I think we did pretty good. I mean, we got the gold trim on that all done. And then we got this leg, all the silver trim, other than the actuator blocked out. I think we did pretty good today. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm sorry. We're not. We actually have 15 more minutes. I'm sitting there looking at the length of time we've been on, not the time I've been FaceTiming. So we got 12 more minutes. Whoops. Okay. So talk about jumping the gun there. Do you guys have a preference? The ones that are here, do you want to see this piece gold like the other bits? Or would you rather see this black with maybe either gold accents or maybe like a flame paint work here, like a hot rod flame? Yeah, I know. I totally boned that one up. Keep painting for our amusement, painting monkey. Yes, yes. All right, painting monkey will commence painting. Dang. I was like, what? Wait, he's sure in a hurry to get off the screen today. I just boneheaded move. I think I'll do that just a wee bit lighter. Maybe this color. Yeah, that'll look pretty good for recesses because I mean they're basically in the shadow, but I do want them to stand out a wee bit, right? So I think what I did was it's been a while since I painted on the other one, but I think what I did was I worked with the good old Incubi Darkness colors, or no, the Dark Reaper colors. That's what I worked with um, to do the workup of the black. So we'll go back to that. I'd pull them out of my paint rack here because I put everything up the other day when I was doing these resin bases. Where is my Dark Reaper? Is that it? That's Incubi Darkness. That's not the one I need. There. And nope, not it. Okay, where are you hiding out? There's one. And I'm looking for one more. Where are you? There we are. Okay, good. All right, now I got my colors. Hey, Carew, welcome in. Hey, McBluff. I'm not sure if you saw the gold trim finished on the body, McBluff, but we got that done, and then we have moved on to working on this leg. So we'll have the other leg done, and we've got basically the metal part done except for the actuator. And we're going to work on the black portion a little bit, which is what we did using the same method we did on this one, which was a Dark Reaper and black mix up. Thank you. Yes, that is Sneezy Pants. That is. I wish I could have caught him, but he was quick. I couldn't get him. So let's get some black down here and a little bit of that Reaper. That was a little too much black. Appreciate it. Okay, getting that mix up. This is Dark Reaper and some black. And a little bit more Dark Reaper. Or a little more dark, a little more black and some Dark Reaper. I knew my phone would go off at least once during a stream. Okay. Now this is probably where the concentration of our brightest point is going to be up here. So let's start up here. Now this mix keeps it still pretty much looking light black without being black. I mean, it's going to have a slightly blue cast to it, but it's a solid workup for this, so it doesn't look too blue, and yeah, it still has a little depth to it. Black is one of those very tricky colors, or lack of color, or mix of all colors in it. Black is all colors absorbed, right? Anyways, is one of those tricky ones to work with. Okay, that's the point. So I tend to go two ways with black. I either go gray, like work with grays on it, or work with blues on it. And since I found the Reaper blues, I've kind of sort of liking those a little bit more, because they're kind of a blue gray, and so it kind of strikes that nice little balance between the two, between black, between gray, and between blue. So it's a good balance. Now, it's very wet here, but I think you guys can see what we laid down. Hopefully. Hey, there those socials are. Yes, now we are close. You love how I really do tiny details. Well, thank you so much, Corey. I appreciate that. I'd probably do tiny details a whole lot better if I actually could see them. Most of the time, I'm just kind of painting by using the force. I know they're there, and I kind of know where they are, and so I just sort of kind of point the lightsaber that way toward them. Most of the time, it works. Not all the time. That is my social media link that I was talking about 12 minutes ago when I was being an idiot. That has all the links to all my socials, my Twitch, my Facebook, my most instant of grams. I would appreciate any likes, follows, subs, and all that good stuff. If you're not already following here, please do so. Follows are free. Painting with the force. That's what I do, man. That's what I do, because I can't see anything. I'm blind as a bat. So yeah, that's what we got. I got 2 more minutes. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out, and we got some work done. We got the metal done on the leg, except for the actuator. We got the black base built up. I still got to do the edging on that, and then we got all this trim done here. I'm particularly happy. I'm really chuffed with these devil horns here. I don't know if that's what they technically are, but that's what they look like to me. I'm pretty happy with those little babies. I was not aware of all these extra swooshes inside here until I started painting, and I'm glad I caught those as well. I think that adds a lot to it, as well as the outside and stuff. So I think this is going to be a nice looking piece when it's finished up. It's just going to take some more time, which is something we painters never seem to have enough of. But yeah, so there we go. He's starting to shape up. So I hope you guys enjoyed NB. Next Thursday, we will be working on some weird science projects. We'll be working on Big Brain Brin first, I think, and then after that we'll start working on the science experiments, the orangutan and the featherless chicken. Those will be probably the first two that we work on, but Big Brain first. Time you thought this was a painting stream. It is. But anyways, guys, I think that's about it. Thank you all for hanging out and getting weird with me, and hope to see you next week when we get weird again. As always, there are other painters here on Weird. We have Doug on Monday, or I think Eleanor is running Doug's stream next week because he's got LVO, but normally it's Doug, and then Virik on Tuesday, and Ben on Wednesday, I think, and then me and Eleanor on Thursdays usually. So yeah, please drop on by. Yeah, Doug is this Monday. Oh, okay. So it's the following one. Okay. Sorry about that. So Doug is Monday. But yeah, guys, please come back and check us out, and we will see you next time. Till then, hobby on and stay weird.